Oh, do I have a computer story for you guys? So this is a 8-core, pretty good running computer, 16 gigabit of RAM. I mean, it's not a game computer; it's just an everyday work computer. It started freezing up about 10 minutes in, 15 minutes into a session. It would freeze up, and the USB ports would all go dead, and like I said, it just froze up. So me and my son started troubleshooting it. The first thing we did was pull out the RAM, decipher each one of those one at a time if one of them was bad. That was probably an hour and a half process because, like I said, it would run 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. Who knows before it would freeze up. So we did those, put in a different one, a brand new one, still the same problem. So then pulled we actually formatted the C drive, I think was the next process that we did. No, we pulled the CPU out and checked the pins, make sure the pins weren't bent and anything. That was all good. So then we formatted the C drive because I mean it had years and years of from Windows I think 7 all the way up through 10, all the updates. So we basically wiped it out, started fresh with that. The problem there was it wouldn't actually install because it would run only 10 minutes, then it would freeze up. So it wasn't Windows doing it. Finally, we pulled out all of the hard drives because, like I said, I had my Plex drive in there. Pulled out all of the hard drives, so nothing was hooked up. Put in a hard drive that had Windows 10 in it already out of another computer. Powered it up, started up. There again, ran about 10 minutes, and would die. Okay, I'm kind of like baffled at this point, thinking, okay, what's next? Oh, went to work, and the guy at work said, oh, let's Google it. And they Googled it, and he found that the BIOS, the motherboard BIOS, somebody else had the same problem, and they just redid the BIOS, the firmware in the BIOS, and that fixed the problem. So that is what we did. We got our model of the motherboard, looked it up, found the BIOS for it, reinstalled it, and now it seems to be working just fine. So now I got to put the hard drive back in it with the actual Windows and reinstall Windows and all that, which we've done, and it seems to be just running. I mean, we ran last night for about an hour and a half with no problems. So it looks like we can now put it back together, but I will now show you guys in a video of how we did the BIOS. It's basically just a flash BIOS that you put in and restart the computer and tell it to get in the BIOS and then update the BIOS, and that's what it did. But the software side of it, I mean, it comes as a zip file. You unzip the file. Then there's just, I think, one file in there that goes on a hard drive or a thumb drive. Plug the thumb drive into the port, power it up. That's all there is to it, really. I guess I don't really need to make a video for that. It's pretty easy. But anyway, yeah, that's system would freeze up every 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Restart it, work fine for another 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. But that was a problem. The BIOS in the firmware BIOS in the motherboard needed to be redone. And that's probably just from all the upgrades from Windows 7 up through Windows 10. It's not talking, but it's working good now. Anyway, have a good afternoon.